Sweet. It's going to be a good night. It already has been. I'm going to be real quick, and then we're going to spend some time with the Lord. I'm walking through something right now that I can't really share a lot about, but I can't wait to be on the other side of it and share a testimony. And Sam said it. It's Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will make your path straight. That would be a great thing to meditate on in our quiet time. That's ministered to me. Tonight I want to talk about thirst traps. Y'all know what thirst traps are? Yeah. You're aware? What's a thirst trap? Anybody know what a thirst trap is? Go ahead and yell it out. Come on, Johnny. You don't know what a thirst trap? Are you a thirst trap?
No.
No, maybe, sometimes.
Devin, what's a thirst trap?
Come on, you're in college, Devin.
Yeah, Devin. You don't know? It's not a type of alcohol, but good guess. At least we got some action there. And make sure, so you take a picture. Never done this before, maybe a couple times. And you're essentially trying to elicit attention from the opposite sex, I would say, right? Am I on the right track? I'm on the track. And so a thirst trap basically just wants your attention, wants to be desired, and wants your focus. So that's what a thirst trap is. I'm going to use thirst trap in the sense that I think that there are things in your life, stepping on something. I think that there are things in your life that try to trap you the same way a girl or a guy tries to trap you with a picture. Does that make sense? Tracking? At least Jaira's tracking with me. She gives me the head nods, which is super helpful. Thank you. So they promise to bring satisfaction, but result in dissatisfaction and discontentment. So you guys are probably familiar with rats, right? You know what rats are.
They are small pieces of...
They are small. Right. And so they do studies with rats. You guys know this? Have you ever seen that in a lab? They do studies with rats, and what they do is, they did this study at Harvard, and what they did is they put rats in a container with just water, and then they put rats in a container with sugar and glucose, which is what makes up soft drinks. Okay? And then they said, ATP? What?
Glucose makes ATP.
I got an 8 on my ACT, so I don't even know what that means. True story. I got an 8 on my ACT. We can talk later. I made it out. Okay, you can too. So what I did with my ACT is I went in and I was very lazy as a student. And what I did is I was just like, I'm not going to read any of the questions. I'll just try to guess circles. It gets you an 8, okay? It gets you an 8. So I just drew circles to try to, it's not a good way, okay? It's not the way. It's the way I chose. And it got me into taking high school classes in college. So anyway, it's a long story. It's off topic as well. So here's what I'm talking about. Tonight we're talking about what?
Thirst traps.
Thirst traps. Okay, so we were talking about rats. Thank you, Mariah. You're tracking. And so what they did is they let them have as much as they wanted, both, and then they turned up the heat to simulate dehydration. And what they found was, even though the rats who drank the soda, water, and sugar drank a ton more, they were more dehydrated than the rats who drank water. And we all exactly. It's like, no duh, dude, but I grew up drinking Diet Coke, so it was news to me, okay? So what I'm trying to say tonight is I think that there are thirst traps in your life. And so I've got them kind of here. We've got sports, gossip, and porn. I've got romance. I've got accomplishment and fame. These are just some of the areas, I think. We've got friendships. We've got crushes. That's a big word at my house. So is Slay Girl. That's a big word too. That's a double word. I was like, what are you talking about? Grades and waiting for stuff. No, wanting stuff. I just read that wrong. But I think that that's true. I think future stuff is also a thirst trap. Like, oh, when I get out of high school, it's going to be great. Right? And so it's a thirst trap because it sets your focus on something other than what is actually going to satisfy you. Media, Netflix, you got it. Instagram, all the stuff, right? And then last, we got shopping. All right? We got shopping. So these are our traps. And so I've got this little thing on here. Olivia brought this for me. Her dad said I could borrow it tonight. And so here's the picture that I got this week about thirst traps. What we do is we see these things and we're like, oh, this is gonna be great. And then I'm gonna pretend, because I'm not gonna pour soda in our Camelback, all right? Does that make sense? This is a Camelback, so I pour stuff here, I put this in my mouth, and I can just sip on it. You guys seen these before?
Yep.
This is not new to you, right?
What in the world?
You've never seen one of these? This is why I'm explaining it. So what you do is you go hiking or something, and you got this, and you carry it on your back, and then you go like this, and you drink. All right, I will watch this. I did ask your mom if I could do that, and she said it was okay. And so what you do is you're like, oh man, like media, this is gonna fill me up, so I pour this in my bag, and then I don't know if you guys are like this, but then you're like, oh, like let's check it out, Crush. I'm gonna spend my time infatuated with this dude, all right, or this girl, or whatever. I'm gonna put some of that in there. And then grades, yeah, I gotta get grades because if I'm not performing right, you know, I really want this thing. And then I'm going to this accomplishment, like if I just accomplish enough. And then what we do is we kind of just go around and we're like, we're drinking, right? Whatever, y'all like that sound? She said do it more, I think. So I just go around and I'm just like satisfying this, I think I'm satisfying this thirst, but what's actually happening is I'm getting thirstier. And so what's happening is I'm now like more dissatisfied. And I don't know if you've ever done this before or spent like hours on YouTube, but you're like, oh, this is just one more. Oh, this one more thing is, and then this is gonna, and you're like, oh, stop. And it doesn't even have to be bad things, right? It could be grades. Like your mom and dad want you to get good grades, right? Fair, yeah, most of you, that's true. And so I start finding my identity in my grades. I start finding identity in my performance. I start finding my identity online. I start finding my identity. All the while, I'm never quenching my thirst. I'm adding flavors to my bag. And I think that this, for me, this is like an image of our phone. Our phone is access to a lot of different things. Our phone gives us access to media. It gives us access to friendships. And if you don't have a phone, don't discount what I'm saying, because you do it too. Okay? But what I'm saying to you guys is like we're going to these wells and we think that we're going to get satisfied. But truth be told, it never satisfies. It never satisfies. But I know something that does, and you do too. And that is Jesus. Jesus is what our soul truly wants. It's what our soul truly needs, but we continually say no to this. It's right there. It's open to us. And maybe you've gone to camp and you took a big old swig, right? And you're like, man, that was so good. That was so awesome. And then you start getting thirsty again. And then you go back to this. Because the fact is this, guys. Jesus says he's going to satisfy your thirst, but it's not a one-time thing. It's a daily thing. It's a daily thing. Like he sets a table before us daily. He gives us food daily. When the Israelites were in the desert, He gave them manna for that day. And that is the same thing he's offering to you. So I have a challenge for you guys. I have a challenge for you, and it's this. Wake up in the morning, 30 minutes before you normally do. Do it. The simplest things in life are oftentimes the most profound things. I wake up before my kids wake up, before my wife wakes up, before I have to get them up. Because that is the only time I can guarantee that I'm not going to be filled, that it's not going to be filled with something else. And I know some of you guys, when you show up here, you're already tired. So don't tell me, oh, I'm going to do it tonight. Because you nicknamed your bed the Word, and you're going to sleep in it. Right? That was an old joke Mark Lowry told one time. He's like, my pastor called me, and I just nicknamed my bed the Word. So when I woke up, I could just tell him, I was in the Word. You think that's funny? I mean, I thought it was funny. I was like 9. I thought it was a really good joke.
I think it's funny.
But that is what has been true in my life. It's not these hard, it's nothing that I'm telling you right now is too hard for you to do. Everybody can do it, but nobody's going to choose it. There's only a few that'll choose it in this room, and you know it's going to satisfy your hunger. You know it's going to satisfy your thirst. But you're going to continue to go back to this table, and we'll be here 20 years from now, and you'll be doing the same thing. And I don't want that for you. Do not waste your life. Don't. Take this thing off. Throw that phone away. For real. I mean, keep it because your mom said to, but get rid of your apps. Get rid of your stuff. My phone, I don't even know where it is. It's probably back there. It's black and white now. Because I turned off the color because I realized that I was more drawn to it because of the color, because I read something about that. That thing is killing us. That thing is making us a slave to it. Free yourself. And you free yourself by waking up 30 minutes before you normally do. And I feel this strong. I feel like tonight that the Lord is calling each one of you, if you want, to a fast. And not a biblical fast where we're fasting food unless the Lord calls and your parents okay. Because I'm not telling you as students to go on a food fast. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is that thing that you've been trying to satisfy your thirst with, that crush, that relationship, that media, whatever that thing is, fast that for a month. I'm telling you, this will transform your life. And I'm not speaking from a place of go do this. I did it a long time ago. I'm doing it. And it's changing my life. It's changing the way that I communicate with my kids. It's changing the way that I treat my wife. It's changing everything. And it's because I'm showing up at the table in the morning. And so that's my challenge to you as we go into this is going to be a really quick, quiet time. I want you guys to spread out now, if you will. Get your stuff, spread out. You can sit on the stage, just don't touch anything. Spread out, pretend everybody's got COVID, okay? I don't want you to stay seated next to somebody. We're going to take 5 minutes. And the thing is we can't develop a thirst. The psalm I want to read with you is on that sheet of paper. You can leave the music up. We're just going to read this psalm. The thing is when David's talking about this psalm, the thing is we can't develop a thirst for God